seconds so that everybody can get in here, and I am going to give you the truth about the lie that's blowing up the internet today. Give me 60 seconds, okay? Let all your friends know. If they want to know if Donald Trump called the Epstein case a hoax, tell them to get in here right now. I'll be back in.
Of the coming of the Lord, He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He has loosed the faithful lightning of His terrible sword. His truth is marching on.
I have seen Him in the watchfires of 100 circling camps. They have
of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He has loosed the faithful lightning of His terrible sword.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Please share, share, share. Do it right now. I'm going to do my small part to try to bring you the truth. America, since you're not hearing it anywhere else, somebody has to do it. That's my job, Professor Toto. We're going to be talking about this right here. What's blowing up the interweb today. I am fixing to break this down for you so beautifully and perfectly that you can calm down for the rest of your day and have answers for all of the loons who do not know how President Trump operates. For those of you that do not know me, my satirical stage name is Professor Toto. It is a word play off of the Wizard of Oz, the little dog that likes to pull the curtain back on the lying wizard. I'm about to pull the curtain back on the lies of the left, and I need you to share. It's that important. I don't normally beg you to share my content, but I have no other way to reach the masses with the truth. All right. Thank you very much. If you're watching on Rumble, repost it. If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, share, comment, love, because we must somehow get the truth out there. Mr. President, if you ever see this, you really should put me on payroll, sir, because even your press secretary is not doing what needs to be done. And I have a busy life, and yet I'm working harder today than I was 4 years ago after the election. All right. So if you're wondering what this live is about, Donald Trump released a statement basically calling the Jeffrey Epstein crimes what sounds like a hoax. Now, granted, President Trump brain moves so far ahead of the general public that when he speaks, many times he knows what he's saying, but he doesn't explain it very well. And that is the curse of brilliance, because many brilliant people already know the truth, but they have a hard time explaining it. That's my job. I'm going to explain to you. Let's read it together. The radical left Democrats have hit pay dirt. I taught that on my show last night. That's exactly what they've done. They've set a trap. All of MAGA is falling into the trap. Donald Trump says, just like with the fake and fully discredited Steele dossier, the lying 51 intelligence agents, I'm not going to read it all. You can read it while I talk. My job is to explain. And after I get through explaining to you what I just released on my daily blog, if you do not get my daily blogs every day, you are missing out. It's free of charge. You can scan the QR code right there, right now, and get that daily blog. Because before President Trump just answered a reporter's question 5 minutes ago, I had already released this Substack article explaining everything that he just finally cleared up. I'm going to play that video for you. But before I do, let me explain this to you in the clearest terms that I possibly can. That way you can explain it to others. All right. So the political world is lit up after President Trump posted this comment this morning referring to the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. Now, every one of us know the crimes Jeffrey Epstein committed is not a hoax. We all know that. President Trump knows that. And suddenly, conservatives across the internet have hit DEFCON 1. They're losing their minds. Is he calling Epstein's crimes a hoax? Is he mocking the victims? Is he turning on MAGA? MAGA, take a deep breath. The man that built MAGA is not turning on MAGA, okay? I want to explain exactly what the president meant and what he did not mean. The key to understanding Trump's post is called context. In his statement, Trump says their new scam, the Democrats, is what will forever be called the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. Now, before you let your blood boil and you let podcasters work you up, keep listening. Because immediately after he said that, the Jeffrey Epstein hoax, he pivots. He pivots that fast. He literally does a 180 because that brain is moving so fast. He pivots and tells you the real target of his anger, and it's not MAGA. He says, and my past supporters have brought in this bull, you know the rest, hook, line, and sinker. He is not dismissing the Epstein crimes. He's not mocking the victims or the demand for justice. He's furious about something else entirely. The left's attempt to smear Donald Trump and connect him to the Epstein crimes and Pam Bondi with another Russia psychops operation. The hoax is not the Jeffrey Epstein crimes. The hoax is connecting Trump to those crimes or covering up those crimes. Before I move any further today with covering up those crimes, I don't know if you know this or not, but the only man besides two judges that have seen this case file is Alan Dershowitz. He was the attorney for Epstein. And he says he has seen every name associated with Epstein. And there's not anyone in power presently whose name is on that list. That's from Alan Dershowitz. He said he would testify under oath that no one that is in power today, their name is anywhere on that list, including Donald Trump. However, the left is creating this psychops. They're joining in with the right to make you think So all President Trump is thinking about, he's not thinking about the victims. He's not thinking about Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. He is angry at the attempt of the left to attach him and to send out these subliminal messages. Maybe he's covering it up because his name is on the list. Trump is calling that strategy of linking him to Epstein as the hoax, or to paint his administration as obstructing justice as the next hoax, or to drag Pam Bondi into a cover-up is the next hoax, the next big hoax that he says will forever be remembered as the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. Not the activity of Jeffrey Epstein, but the tying of the Trump administration to a cover-up of the Epstein case. That, my friend, is the hoax that Donald Trump is referring to, and he is angry at his past supporters who have fallen hook, line, and sinker. Just like I taught you on my show last night, it was all a trap. And he's angry that good people have fallen into the wood chipper, okay? He is calling that a narrative, the one being crafted right now by the mainstream media, the new Russia, Russia, Russia. And you know what? He's absolutely right. He always is. He's absolutely right. Do you remember the Steele dossier? If you want to know what Trump's talking about, listen to the examples he gives in that statement. The Steele dossier, the 51 intelligence officials, the Mueller circus. He calls those by name. They were all what? Hoaxes. No, the victims of Jeffrey Epstein are not a hoax. No, the crimes of Jeffrey Epstein are not a hoax. What is a hoax is suddenly the left tying Donald Trump and insinuating he was involved some way and somehow, and now he's trying to cover it up to protect himself. That is the hoax. It's all built on a fake foundation just to smear a man that they could not beat. Let me tell you how this should have gone down. Cash Patel, Dan Bongino, great guys. Love them all. Thankful for their service to MAGA. But they made the mistake that so many are making today. They ignored the words of the Apostle Paul. You know, in the Christian world where I'm from, there's this new movement of podcasters that love to expose the truth with no wisdom of other ministers. They love to do it. Blow up families, blow up churches, just blow it all up. And they get huge followings because people that do not have the Holy Spirit are attracted to that, okay? Well, the Apostle Paul said in the Word of God that we are never, ever, 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 ever to bring matters of the church to the public or the courts or anything that would harm the church. We're never to do it. He said you're to handle it privately within the church. And Dan Bongino and Cash Patel failed to do that. When they begin to make public statements of their disagreement with Pam Bondi and Donald Trump, they fed this machine. Now, I hope that they will make that right, undo that, and I believe they will. But in the meantime, because that was not handled privately, and our prime voices, Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, all chimed in with this, now it has turned into Donald Trump's cover-up rather than Jeffrey Epstein's crime. MAGA, please don't fall for it again. I beg you. Trump is warning you. He is not making fun of you in this post. He's warning you. He's like, how can you be so foolish to fall into this trap, MAGA? Let's get back to work. That's what he's telling you. He's begging you. He's saying, I've seen this movie before. Don't let them turn you into the tool that they use to destroy me. Listen to me, MAGA. I'm begging you all to listen carefully. They're going to use this for the midterms. If we lose the midterms, Donald Trump is history. He will be impeached. And do you know whose fault it will be? Those that wanted the truth with no consideration of the fallout. No wisdom, just raw meat. Donald Trump is begging you, don't become the tool that they use to kill me with. He's angry. Is he dismissing Epstein's crimes? No. Is he saying the victims don't deserve justice? No. He's saying don't let the left weaponize this again like they did with Russia. It is that simple, my friends. The Democrats have a strategy. Wrap Trump in a new scandal that we invented. Can I be raw, real, and honest with my audience today? The truth is, for 5 years, I never mentioned Epstein on any of my shows. He was a non-issue to me because I knew eventually justice would come. Do you know why I never made him an issue? I saw this day coming. I knew that none of that was ever going to be revealed, ever. And then I knew that there probably wasn't as much there as we had hyped up. And I knew that one day we would have egg on our face. And now we're mad because Donald Trump won't save us from that egg on our face. That's the whole problem. I just told you the whole problem. We're mad that he won't come out and prove to the world we were all right. Even though I never touched that story. Because why? I thought about it. I thought about it. They want to wrap Trump into a new scandal that they've invented. They wrapped him up in the Steele dossier, the Ukraine phone call, the January 6th. They wrapped him up now in Epstein, not because they want justice, but because they want to destroy him, and they want our podcasters to help them do it. Et tu, Brute? They want to create the perception of guilt. They want MAGA to turn on itself, and it's working. Because nobody wants to hear the voice of reason. They want to hear the voice of rage. They want you so emotionally engaged that you miss the bait and switch. Do you understand what's happened here, right? You were angry at Epstein. Now you're angry at Trump, and you didn't even notice what happened. That's how good they are. Oh, yeah, you were angry at the pedophiles, rightfully so. Now you're angry at the best attorney general and the best president. You're angry at all them now. Do you see what they did? Do you see what they did to you? They turned you into a rage because you have no reasoning. We can still stop this. Shut up about it. We can still stop it. Let them do their job. I'm calling on every podcaster. I'm pleading with you. Stop, please, insulting and accusing Donald Trump and Pam Bondi. You are falling into their hands. Allow it to take its course. Let them do their jobs, and let's go back to making America great again. Before we make America fall again. Remember what Trump actually did. Let's think about this. Donald Trump banned Jeffrey Epstein from Mar-a-Lago, banned him. Donald Trump reopened the Epstein case in 2019. Trump has never been listed on any Epstein log or document. Pam Bondi is on record supporting full legal transparency on Epstein, but according to Dershowitz, there is no there. Ghislaine Maxwell, do you not think she would have given up some big names to get out of prison? So why is the left suddenly acting like Trump is covering something up? Because it's election season and they are desperate. Trump is not gaslighting MAGA. He's warning us. This wasn't an attack on MAGA. It was a warning to MAGA. Don't get emotional. Get strategic. The left is hoping you'll jump ship and go with a third party. They only hope that you're not smart enough to see what they're doing. Listen, MAGA, I get it. We all want justice. We want the names. We want the flight logs. We want every monster exposed, but we cannot become the left, ready to burn down our own just to feel righteous. Trump is not telling you to ignore Epstein. He's telling you not to be manipulated about Epstein. And that's wisdom that is worth heeding, my fellow Americans. And now that I've explained it to you, which I did that on my blog an hour ago, right after that, President Trump explained the exact same thing. Let me see if I can find it for you. Here we go. Let's listen. Sorry about that. I don't think the audio's playing. Hang tight. Give me one moment. Let's see. Let's take that off. Stop that. Let's try this again, shall we? Hang tight. Share the audio. Okay, hopefully it'll play the audio this time. Okay, I don't think it's working. Anyway, so sorry. I can't get him up, but President Trump was just at the White House with the Crown Prince of Bahrain. They asked him about the hoax. He said exactly what I've said. He's referring to the attempts of the left to tie him to Jeffrey Epstein. All right. I hope that helps, guys. I really, 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 really hope that. Thank you, Steve Andrade. Thank you very much, my friend. Kevin Brown says he's just upset. We all are, Kevin. We live in an unjust world. We live in a world where the wicked go free many times. That's why I encourage every believer to prepare their hearts to be part of the next world that's coming. It's coming very soon to our planet. We have a new president coming by the name of Yeshua or Jesus. And he's coming to make all wrongs right, to put everything back the way it's supposed to be the Prince of Peace, and to bring joy to the world. Not very long from now, there will be a new government ruling from New Jerusalem. And none of this will ever happen again. I pray your hearts are ready for that day. Thank you for watching today. Yahweh bless you and keep you.